Code of Conduct a little bit earlier on. To help us understand perhaps what all of this means, I'm now joined by Dr. Mazwe Majola, who's a leadership expert. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Good day. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks.
All right, so significant, I guess, that the leadership in each of these parties were the ones that stepped forward to sign this Code of Conduct.
Of course, yes, it's a very important code of conduct for leaders. They, from now on until the announcement of the results, they must stand up and stand out to be good leaders. They must control their members. They must control their tongues, because now the code speaks to the behavior of the respect between each other and tolerance of free and fair elections during campaigning. That's sloganism. What are they going to say to each other about themselves? So it's a very important thing for leadership. Leadership now, they must really exhibiting good leadership. And they must be seen to be respected by their own members, because a leader might say something and the followers might be doing something else.
So when the followers do start acting out of turn, contrary to the Code of Conduct, where does leadership step in and what do they do?
The leadership must step in terms of making sure that they enforce, because remember that each and every political party has its own code of conduct as a political party for their own members, that if you behave like this, this is what is going to happen to you. So leaders, they must be able to discipline their leaders, or rather their followers, because it's very, very important. Otherwise, they might find themselves not even making it to the ballot box.
How do you manage people who are not card-carrying members of your party and therefore are not subject to your disciplinary measures? There are only about 1 million card-carrying members of the ANC, but we know that there are multiples of that may support the party. So if people wearing an ANC t-shirt, an EFF t-shirt, UDM t-shirt, a DA t-shirt, misbehave but are not members of the party, how does the leadership manage this? Because what we've been hearing most of the time is they are not our party members.
Well, it's just the leaders must earn respect. When a leader speaks, he must, I don't want to use the word command, but of course, yes, but people, whether they are card-carrying members or their sympathizers or their followers, or rather their supporters, must follow what the leader is saying. Because remember, leadership is about followers or followership. So if a leader does not have followership, then it's not a good leader. A leader must inspire, must influence. A leader must pave the way. A leader must lead by example. So it must be modeling leadership, so that people can say, I'm going to vote for that party. Because there are so many parties, as you can see, 48 political parties in 2019 as compared to the previous elections is a lot. So people will they've got so much to choose for. So these leaders will be taking very serious precautions to make sure that how they woo voters for their political parties. And
I would imagine as well that it's quite important that people don't obsess with the letter of the law or of the Code of Conduct, but the spirit in which it's written.
Very important, because if you are too legalistic and follow the letter, otherwise you've got to be ethical as well, and then of the spirit, because that will curtail you and that will prevent you from doing certain things wrong. But if you are going by the book that no, but this shall not say, so leaders will be seen they'll have to be seen how important they are, that they can be able to control their leader, or rather their supporters and their members.
All right. So it was interesting watching the process this afternoon. There were supposed to be pledges of support to the Code of Conduct, but they were using this to take swipes at some political parties. that's not the spirit of what today was about, and I suppose that doesn't bode well for what might come.
Well, the word tolerance is very important when it comes to fierce competition and contestation like this. So political party leaders, they must become leaders. They must lead and take charge and respect each other. And they must tolerate each other, because if they can do that now, what will happen when the results are announced? When people will begin to say, no, we were supposed to win, they didn't do this. So people, it must be a fair play. So they must go there and say, we are going to play in a fair play and with respect, so that for the sake of office, for the sake of democracy in South Africa.
All right, and that's where we're going to have to leave it, Dr. Majola, but no doubt we will chat to you again in the coming weeks as we count down to the polls.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much indeed for your time.
Thank you, sir. Wonderful.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, now...